Welcome to Horoscopes by Hoppy. Aries, look, you always think you calm, talking about, why you think I'm mad? Bitch, you always mad. Calm the fuck down. Taurus, you jealous. Stop being so fucking jealous, thinking you ain't jealous. Gemini, you judging everybody. Stop fucking judging people. Cancer, you ain't fine. You stress the fuck out all the time with your fake bubbly ass personality. Just calm the fuck down. Leo, get over it. You hold a grudge on fucking everything. God damn it, just get over it, you Leo motherfucker. Virgo, acting like you ain't stressed out. You neurotic bitches. Calm the fuck down. Libra, stop lying. Y'all lie about fucking everything. Just stop fucking lying. We know you sensitive and shit. Just stop lying. You cool? Scorpio, you ain't obsessed. Bitch, you obsessed. OCD motherfuckers. Quit being obsessive compulsive about fucking everything, especially your relationships. Just chill. Sagittarius, you don't care. The fuck you don't care? You care about everything. God damn it. Just show some people some respect. Sagittarius. Oh, we just did Sagittarius. Capricorn. You don't need help. Bitch, you ain't no hero. Ask for some help. People are always trying to help you and shit. You just clam up and want to stay to yourself and shit. Get some help. People love you. Aquarius. You ain't insecure. You so insecure you manipulate people all the time, make yourself feel better. Fucking with their emotions and their hearts and shit. Stop that shit. Stop that shit. You there for some good. Pisces, I can walk it alone like you Kane and Kung Fu. Bitch, you ain't Kane and Kung Fu. You fucking get some friends. Stop fucking just clamming up and staying in your room all the time. Get out and see the world.
You are now listening to Random Ramblings with Rob.
To the R, O to the B, coming at you with the funny random rambling, talking about all the things that'll make that rain day sunny. Yeah, it's hot and popping, fireball dropping, come get your laugh on. Yeah, that's the concept, you know he was rocking, robbing the facts and all of the gossip. It don't matter where you are or who you with, you gotta tune right in. Bring your girl into your girl to bring your friends, be right, be lit. Tune in your crib, in your whip, at your job. He got new shows every Sunday. Random ramblings with Rob.
Here we go.
What up, everybody? This your boy B-Rob, and I'm back with another edition of the Random Ramblers with Rob podcast. First and foremost, I'd like to thank you, the listener, for coming back each and every week, or however you listen to podcasts. If you're a new listener, I appreciate you for taking the time out and listening to my show. And high five whoever gave you an inkling of my operation I got going on over here. And however they sold it to you, and if it intrigued you on listening to me, yeah, I appreciate it. Just give that person a high five, a slap on the ass. Well, no. Don't give them a slap on the ass, because I got so many sexual harassment accusations going around. So first get consent before you do the high five, because I really don't want nobody to get in trouble. So just make sure you ask permission before you do everything. Long gone are the days to where you used to do what you think is right or beneficial to you and ask for forgiveness later, because now you gonna go to jail. You're gonna go under the jail, and then somebody gonna be touching your nether regions without permission or consent. So I hate to see that happen to you. I fucked myself up, and I heard somebody giggling in the background. If you hadn't heard it yourself, along with me in the intro portion of the show is you hear about him just about every week when I do my outros. The man himself, Brandon McIntyre. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Man, I'm hanging in there. We just a week away from the Royal Rumble. How are you feeling about it?
It feels gonna be a pretty good show. That's usual, you know.
I like how you led into that. You was like, yeah. Well,
I've kind of only out to WWE a little bit. You know, I don't watch as much as I used to, but I still watch pay-per-views. So,
and then it's one of the big tier main events for their pay-per-view season, with the Royal Rumble, along with the Survivor Series and all the other three.
Yeah, the Rumble is my favorite pay-per-view because I just love the Rumble match in general. So
exactly. And now for this particular Rumble, you're getting 2 Rumble matches.
Yeah, the Women's Rumble is going to be great. I have a feeling there's going to be some good surprises. The Men's Rumble, I'm hoping that we get someone new, exciting to win it, not someone like, Orton again, because Orton last year was just very, very flat.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like he's another one of those guys that should just be, here when they need him, not necessarily because he has to be there.
Yeah, I don't need to see Orton every freaking week. I just don't need to see that.
But speaking of the Rumble and why I have you here, because we're going to talk a little bit about that before we get into the interview portion of the show. And I thought it would be cool to have a collective of people, which boiled down to you because everybody else had shit to do. So, and, I just wanted to talk to you anyway. So there it is.
All right, cool.
All right, the first match we got on the card, more than likely going to be a pre-show match, but it is Enzo Amore versus Cedric Alexander for the WWE Cruiserweight Championship. So, who you got on this one?
I really want to be Cedric, but I have a feeling it's going to be Enzo again.
Why you feel that way?
Because Enzo's still on his run where he's going to pretty much beat everybody, and I just don't, I
don't know why you think that is. You think they're holding out for somebody to come in and, of name value or recognition, take that off of them, or they just...
Yeah, I think it's just still a little too soon to take it off Enzo. I kind of think Gulak might take it off him at some point, honestly.
Oh, yeah. Because, the way I see, like, the Enzo and the Gulak relationship is almost reminds me of a Miz and the Mizdow in some sense.
Yeah.
So everybody...
Or what Miz and Alex Riley was supposed to be at some point.
Yeah, the one that Roman Reigns called out most recently.
Yeah.
Called him a buff-ass white boy or some shit like that. I was like, ooh. I said, that was, uncalled for.
Yep.
But I'm kind of siding with you because regardless of his in-ring skill, he falls into the category of Alexa Bliss. He is a good promo and he's entertaining. So I don't know. But I feel like if Cedric Alexander did win, what would they do with him? He's exciting in the ring. He has nothing but upside, but I don't know about him being a champion at this point.
Yeah, he's got the problem that some of the cruiserweights had in the beginning, where they have not much of a character. He's a good wrestler and everything, but character-wise, not there just yet.
Which I don't understand, because when they had him in the Cruiserweight Classic, they had a brilliant backstory for him. Talk about how he dropped the weight just so he can be in the tournament. His family and all that stuff. I don't see why all that stuff that they did in the hype packages into the Cruiserweight Classic didn't transfer over to 205 Live or make it to WWE TV. So, I don't know. Just weird.
Yep.
All right. Next, we got the SmackDown tag titles on the line. It is the Usos versus Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin. What you got on this one?
Usos, because I'm down with them since day one ish.
I like what you did there. I see where you're going with that. You don't think they might pull it off them in light of the recent incident with I think it was Jey Uso?
They might, but I think they'll probably just keep it on them.
I don't know. I think they might put it on Benjamin and Gable. I don't know. As corny as they are, I think they make a good heel tag team.
Yeah.
And it's weird because the Usos are kind of heel and you got Gable and Benjamin out healing them. So, I don't know. But you got the Usos. I'm going with Gable and Benjamin. This is our first disagreement. All right, next we have the Raw Tag Team titles on the line. Seth Rollins and Jason Jordan versus The Bar, Yosemite Sam and Elmer Fudd. So who you got on this one?
Rollins and Jordan.
You don't think they ain't gonna be having no shenanigans or anything? Jordan ain't gonna get too full of himself and cost him the match?
That might actually happen, because I know the storyline between Jordan and Rollins is definitely not over yet.
All right, yeah. I'm still feeling that at some point Jordan is gonna wrestle Angle. What do you feel about that?
I can see that happen. You can tell each week that Jordan's coming more and more heel. Just the way his character's playing out. I really do enjoy how he's playing his characters. Annoying as crap, but yeah, I do enjoy it.
Yes, I do. I think it's going to come to a head to where, I mean, he's been putting himself in position to, get all these opportunities because his dad is the GM. And I just feel it's going to kind of come to a head to where he's like, I played you. You're not even my daddy. I just used you to get all these opportunities, and then they're going to wrestle.
Yeah, I think it's going to end that way too. Right. It's really the best way to end that story.
Yeah. Do you feel it should end at WrestleMania or Elimination Chamber?
I would go probably before Mania.
Yeah,
you could do something bigger with the Angle at Mania than that match.
Yeah, and if I am correct, I think the Elimination Chamber is Raw, right, or is it SmackDown?
I can't remember. I'm not sure whose pay-per-view it is.
I don't know. I could be wrong anyway. I just guessed pretty much because, I mean, if they do have something come to a head, I think it might be before WrestleMania. And then I'm not opposed to it happening at WrestleMania. It's Kurt Angle. He coming back. It'll be his WrestleMania. He can get finally his own entrance with the pyro and the singlet and everything.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got next. We got the handicap match. We got Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens versus AJ Styles. What you got on this one?
I think Styles is going to find a way to pull out a win, and Owens and Zayn are going to have a little spat in the match, which is going to help AJ retain the title.
You think that'll split them off back into a feuding again?
Not necessarily, but there'll be a little bit of tension between the two.
Because I can kind of see, because Sammy had that promo before they got together, like how Kevin always did these dastardly things and he always got these opportunities and titles and everything. I kind of feel like it's also like the Jordan situation. You just kind of got Kevin in his corner to get him more opportunities and everything. And then whenever he sees the opportunity because of Kevin, they're going to have a dispute.
That would be interesting if Zayn kind of screwed KO over and Zayn became the heel and Owens became the face. That'd be a very interesting dynamic there.
Yeah, and it's weird because everybody that Owens has been paired with, he's turned on him. And it'd be cool to see somebody turn on him.
Right. Especially his best friend.
Let me tell you about my best friend. Oh, yeah, I didn't pick the last one. I think the bar might pull it out. So another disagreement with you again, and I also agree with you with the AJ Styles. All right, here we go. The triple threat match for the Universal Championship. We got Brock Lesnar versus Kane versus Braun Strowman. What do you think is going to happen, and what do you want to happen? And I'm going to give you two answers there.
All right, what I think is going to happen, Lesnar's going to retain, so we can have Reigns versus Lesnar at Mania, which is boring to me. But who I want to win is Braun Strowman, hands down, no doubt, because he is freaking my favorite thing about Raw right now. Yeah,
and he telling people to catch these hands,
Mm-hmm. Oh, what he did on Monday, where he just wrecked shit, was great. I loved it, every minute of it. Like, you could just have the whole 3 hours of him just destroying shit, and I've been fine with that.
Yeah, it was just kind of like how when Elias first came in, he was a part of the show, but he wasn't really a part of the show. He was just like in the background, floating around and everything. Just have Braun running through backstage area while match is going on and wrecking shit, or around the ringside or something. The whole show. All right, you said Brock Lesnar is going to win, but you want Braun Strowman to win in your heart of hearts.
Yep.
I'm in the same boat with you, man. I feel the same way. I really want Braun to win. Kane going to go away and do his mayor thing if elected, or if that's even still going on. But
it's still going on, yeah.
Yeah. So fucking Brock Lesnar. I just want him to be done and gone from this place.
Same here. I hate when his title reign, because he's never there. You never see the belt, and when you do, it's nice to see the belt, but it's just not worth all the trouble we've had to go through this year.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Here we go. Ladies first. Women's 30-person Royal Rumble. Who do you think is going to win? Who? I'll give you two on this one as well. Who do you think is going to be the bottom three in the ring? And who do you think is going to win it?
This one's hard to predict. Just a little bit. I would say you'd have Sasha in one of the final three or whatever you want to give. Let's say the final three or four if you want to go it that way. It would be Sasha, Becky. I'm gonna go with probably Carmella as well, and let's just for heck we'll throw in Bailey as well. Why not?
Now, who do you want to win?
Who do I want to win? We'll go with Becky.
All right. Who do you think is going to win?
Probably Asuka.
Yeah.
That's just...
Yeah, it makes sense. I really would think Nia Jax might be down in the final 3 or 4. I know Sasha probably will be there. And Asuka, of course. But as far as who I would want to win, I wouldn't be mad if Sasha won or Asuka won. I'm not opposed to either one of those. I would want one of those two to win. Who I think is going to win? I don't know. It's not going to be a surprise entrance.
It's a tough one.
I know, and that's the beauty of this, man. You can't call it either way. I mean, with the men rumble, I mean, you kind of
guess. You
can kind of guess and not be too far off. But this women's one, because it's the first one and they got so much stuff going on, it's kind of hard to pick.
Now, surprise entrance and stuff, you don't know who's going to win that thing. So, yeah.
In my heart of hearts, I wish Naomi would win so I could see her dance at the end. But that's a whole nother different thing. All right. Let's transition over to the men's Royal Rumble. Who do you got? Who do you think is going to be your final 3? And who would you want to win? And who do you think is going to win?
All right. Final 3. We're going to go with Nakamura.
Mm-hmm.
Nakamura, Cena. And I'm just for heck, I'm going to go with Balor, too. That's the final 3. Who I think is going to win? I'm going to go with Nakamura on this one.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I agree with you as far as who I think will win is Nakamura. But with the heavy rumors floating around and the betting odds shifting, there's people believing that Daniel Bryan might be in this thing. Does that sway your opinion any?
Yeah, I almost forgot about that rumor. Yeah, I'd say he could win it. It'd be really interesting if it happened to be him versus Styles at Mania.
Yeah, it would be interesting or whatever. But I think if by some chance he's in it, I think he might get screwed out again. I don't think Bryan is ever going to win a Rumble.
Yeah, they don't want a repeat of the last time they were in Philly.
Yeah. All right. I think that's the whole card. Did I miss anything that you know of?
Nah, I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, reason I wanted to talk wrestling with you and the Royal Rumble's coming up because my guest this week is Sock Monkey Mike. I don't know if you're familiar with him on Twitter.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, he's returned once again. I think this is his 3rd time back on the show. He usually hits me up when he has some updates and everything or some changes. But from the first time he was on the show, he graduated high school. Now he's in his 2nd semester of college. He's working on his communications degree or a broadcasting degree, one of the two. I forget. I apologize for that. And he started his own podcast. I think it's Two Sides of the Coin there. Him and his co-host, they talk professional wrestling and a whole bunch of other topics from social media to movies and all kind of other cool things. So my guest this week is him, and we're going to talk about all the things that he got going on, plus a little bit of wrestling. And
sounds awesome.
And before we get into that, I'm going to go ahead and bid you adieu. I just want to have you in and tell you thank you for all that you do for the Random Ramblers with Rob. And it was cool just to sit down and chat with you for a little bit, man.
Nice chat with you, too.
All right. You got any plugs before you go? You want to give any shout outs?
Nah, you can just, if you want to, you can follow me at Stone Cold Phenom on Twitter, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, you just changed that. I was like, who is this messaging me. It's like, oh, okay. Then I had to look at the picture.
Yeah, I just thought of the name and just thought, man, time for a change. So,
all right, it'd be like that sometimes. All right, man, I'm gonna let you go and get out of here, and I'm gonna carry on with this episode. I appreciate your time, dude.
All right, peace.
What up, everybody? It's your boy Jared from the #Blackout Podcast. What's up, B-Rob? It's Jared from the #Blackout Podcast. If you didn't hear what I just said. Anyway, yeah, man, Happy New Year, belated Merry Christmas, all that jazz. Sorry I haven't called in a while. Been busy traveling for work, family, and work, and more family and more work. But it's all good. Anyway, just want to let you know, last episode I heard, sadly, voicemail edition, about halfway through, when you guys were talking about the truck spices. Still trying to get through that and the rest of the episodes, but I put it on pause because I wanted to remember that stuff y'all talked about. So, Hook Shrubs and Spices does appreciate the feedback from y'all. So, on another note, just started EVD, so I'll get back to you when I get some more of EVD. But thanks for dropping her on that episode. After we mic checked her, music was great, so hopefully she dropped a little more on you on this episode. I don't know yet because I'm only 2.5 minutes in. Hope y'all be nice and warm down in the chilly Texas. And I guess we'll talk to you later. Good blacking out. Random Ramblings with Rob. This is Jared again, continuing from the voicemail that I left earlier, which on your show it would be seconds ago, but in actuality it was like 8 hours when I was driving to work. So, yeah, so I'm still listening to the EVD episode. Dope episode so far. Very, pretty darn amazing listening and learning how she's influenced by music, where she got her artistry from, how she was a poet and didn't know it, if you know what I'm saying. And yeah, very interesting to hear about the Cardi B situation. But this is really for you and Miss Kayla Stevenson. I'm sort of happy and disappointed at the same time that the beef is over. But we're all friends. It's all love. Kayla listens to both of our shows, so I know that, she's down with both of us. But it's sort of disappointing because I wanted to hear you guys sort of hash it out in a playful way, of course, on your show. But I guess that's yet to be determined. But, because I can't stop saying but, I'm happy that the beef is over. So on that note, while I'm still listening, I'm going to black out and listen to more. Blacking out.
All right. Sock Monkey Mike. Because if I say it any faster than that, I'm going to wind up saying Sock Money Mike.
All right. It's Sock Monkey Mike.
Yeah.
The best name on Twitter.
Yeah, I know. It's just a mental thing with me to where I always mess it up when I say it fast.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, honestly, Sock Monkey Mike, the name itself I came up with in, 2014. And I just thought of something just to have a cool ass username on Twitter. I mean, really, that was just all the meaning behind it.
Yeah. And since last we talked, I mean, there's a lot of things going on. I mean, first had you on the show. You just graduated high school, going into college, pursuing your degree in communications. Then, I saw you on Raw. And,
yes, sir.
In your hometown, got a little bit of camera time there. Matter of fact, your avatar on Skype is that very same still shot from that Raw.
Oh, yes, sir. I mean, like I've mentioned, people think, and I've got tweets about this, they're saying, man, that looks like a fake reaction. Like, that looks like the camera was just pointing at them, and it was like, oh, I'm just going to do this reaction for Raw. That was legitimate, because if you remember, that moment when that reaction happened was when Braun Strowman put Kurt Hawkins through the freaking stage.
Yeah.
Okay. And that shit was crazy. Okay. That was straight out legitimate. it was a wonderful time, and I just wish I could recreate that moment again. But I guarantee you, unless the Undertaker comes back and retires in my city, then I'm never going to have that reaction kind of again.
Yeah. What you're hoping for of his appearance in 2 weeks at the Raw 25?
See, that's the thing about the Undertaker. The Undertaker is such a phenomenon within the WWE. He's and you have to agree with me on this too, B-Rob, is that he is a guaranteed WWE Hall of Famer. Oh, yeah. Has to be this year. I mean, there's no doubt that he should be, his legacy should be cemented within WWE. But in terms of the appearance, I'm just hoping it's maybe just a promo for him, because if it's not, and if he goes on to wrestle again, then it's kind of pointless in my opinion, because after losing to Roman and probably apparently retired, then what's kind of the point of him going back, having another WrestleMania, maybe losing or most likely losing again? And then what's next of The Undertaker? Just him having a losing streak now? Is he going to be Kurt Hawkins of WrestleMania, where he has the most losses?
Well, I hope it's just to kind of tie everything off, to put everybody speculation to bed. It's just that, he shows up, hey, no shit, I'm done for real, and then that'd be the end of it.
Right.
But also within the time since you've been on here last, you went ahead and started you a podcast there.
Yes, sir. And it is the most episodic weekly podcast, even though we only had one episode released. Podcast, which is known as, to everybody that's not familiar, Two Sides of the Coin, featuring me and myself and my co-host, which his name is Kevin, aka Kev, aka his Westernness. It is a podcast that I'm really proud of, because this has been kind of months in the making. It was an idea that I kind of shot at you before, and it was kind of it's really an idea that me and him worked on, and it works out beautifully, because it's a show where different topics are discussed. We argue, we compare things. We have people on the show that's actually, fits both of our interests. Like one episode, you could see that it's based on more film, because that's what kind of our topics are kind of handled, is with film and sports. And, one episode will be more focused on film. Maybe the other episode will be focused more on WWE. It all depends. I mean, it's very awesome to, record and all that, because I'm living my dream of, sports broadcasting or whatever, and kind of going through the steps of, making it there. And I feel like that's more of, my passion, and starting from, not particularly at the bottom, but starting from, scratch with the podcast. And I really feel like that the people out there who are listening right now is actually going to love that. And if they do want to check it out, I'm sorry, but I have to do this plug really quick, B-Rob. If you haven't already, check out TSC Network on YouTube, and you'll find the first episode there. You'll also find my promo on there. I don't know if you've seen that, B-Rob. My little promo on there, which is probably horrible.
I'll be the judge of that in a moment.
He plays the video as we're doing the interview.
Oh, yeah, you was pausing for me to do it?
No! I was just kind of leading it to you. But I was just gonna say, B-Rob, the last, like you were mentioning about the last time we talked, like you mentioned, I just graduated from high school. I was going on to college. Now, fast forward, almost a year later, and here I am, second semester of college, still trying to get that, college degree. And times have changed. I mean, unfortunately, at this point, it doesn't look like I'm going to be attending a Raw or a SmackDown. However, I do like to say that I will be doing my first ever VIP experience, which that is going to be very exciting.
See, I was interested in doing something like that, but I just couldn't really. I don't know what it is, man. It's just stupid as hell. The way I'm thinking about it is just like, why I want to pay money to go see these people,
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it is stupid, but I mean, honestly, I mean,
well, I'm not gonna say it's stupid. It's just like I'm trying to rationalize why I would do it, you know, and it's just like because I like no shit if like they said Undertaker was gonna be here tomorrow in Houston, Texas, at the motherfucking Walmart, and you had to pay X amount of dollars to see him and shake his hand and stuff. I'd probably pay that shit. But,
right. I mean, honestly, the VIP experience itself, I do agree with you to a fault of it is worth. I mean, it's not really worth the money of $500, but at the same time, you kind of have to look at my experience for someone who doesn't get the opportunity to meet superstars that often. I mean, I was lucky enough at Raw to meet Drew Gulak, who's, I'm going to put it out there, who is the best cruiserweight on the cruiserweight division. I don't care what nobody says. Drew Gulak, he is entertaining. He is a great submission specialist and just a great guy in general. And I believe and the PowerPoints, dude, the PowerPoint.
Yeah. I
am so looking forward to when Microsoft and WWE release that shit so I can finally review that PowerPoint. Because you know the crowd loves when he does the PowerPoint.
Yeah. I really believe that they're going to have like a little set or like an article about all that on WWE.com one day. Just have like his slides and everything, and they'll let you click through them and all kind of crap.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, and like I was like furthermore on towards the VIP experience, you know, I mean, if they would have said, okay, we're going to lower the price from 500 to 300, then I think you would have more of a different view on it, or maybe if it was lower. Yeah. But honestly, the VIP experience itself, just to get an opportunity to meet and actually kind of talk to the superstars, I mean, depends on different people's experiences, like, and also depends on the different people you get, you know. But honestly, for me, I have a good feeling that since it's the SmackDown brand, that I might get some good people. And plus, I don't know if you've heard or not, but I'm going to be the host, the host of, I'm sure you're familiar with the Wrestling Classic, correct?
Correct.
Yes. So on February 25th, and that's actually going to be Elimination Chamber, I'm going to be hosting and taking over the Wrestling Classic Snapchat.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember you did.
So make sure you guys tune in if you haven't followed already at the Wrestling Classic on Instagram and on Twitter. You know, that's going to be awesome for me because that's going to be the second time I've ever hosted.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited to see how that plays out.
You know, and how do those things usually go about? I mean, with Snapchat and everything. I mean, I know what it is. I briefly had it, and then like. I didn't have a lot of usage out of it, so I just wound up deleting the app out of my phone.
Right,
and I know it evolves.
So what happens with the Wrestling Classic Snapchat takeover is that I take over their Snapchat for just probably the night, and I try to get some good content in for you guys. I try to get like, so I meet Enzo Amore, which, you know, I hate with a passion, but for the sake of it, let's just say I was a mark for him. So I meet him for say, and I say, hey, can you give us shout outs to the Wrestling Classic? Then I would have a video for you guys on the Snapchat page and say, excuse me. So I would say like, and then he would say like, shout out to this Wrestling Classic. You know what I mean? So it would be kind of something of that caliber.
Yeah, so it's just like he's loaning you his page to promote and find more wrestling for the Wrestling Classic.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. I mean, I just, the Snapchat thing just didn't really hold on to me or whatever, man. I just kind of got tired of it.
Yeah. B-Rob, you can't give up on Snapchat. You got to give it a second chance.
I don't know. Maybe maybe you're right. It's 2018. It's a whole nother year. Maybe I have to.
It's a new year, man. You got to. New year, new you. Oh, I hate that cliche.
Yeah, I know. I do too. But your podcast, Two Sides of the Coin. How?
Yes, sir.
The I guess partnership with you and Kevin come along, or is it extended from a friendship?
So the story behind Two Sides of the Coin goes back to well, not really a long time. It's just the beginning of the semester last year. So what ended up happening was that I ended up meeting a good friend of mine that I know now from my film class. His name is Kevin, or known to the Twitter world as his Wexterness. Okay, so we met up, and he discussed his passion for podcasting, directing, and I was like, hey man, like I have this passion for sports, WWE, and talking a lot and announcing. And he's like, oh man, well maybe we should start up a podcast. And I was like, well, I mean, I've been kind of thinking about it, and I got my boy B-Rob, shout out to B-Rob, kind of giving me the motivation to do it. And I got a couple other friends too, that are motivating me as well to do it. And I was like, maybe I should try this podcasting out. So then we decided, okay, so we're going to actually do this podcast. Unfortunately, it's not weekly as we would hope because, both of our schedules are, overhauled with, work and school.
Yeah.
So we decided, hey, we're actually going to do this podcast. And once we did the first episode, once you could check it out, like I said, on my YouTube at TSC, that's a T with an S and a C network. You'll see the first episode, which is the introduction. Mm-hmm. And like I said, this was our first episode, so it's not going to be as static, but I just want to kind of put our material out there and see what kind of reception we would get. I do apologize to the viewers, though, that did watch it, that you're going to hear a lot of gum chewing, which apparently that's a number one no-no in the podcasting world. So I like to personally apologize to everybody who watched the episode, and for everybody who will watch the episode, I do apologize, and I apologize lastly to you, B-Rob, because you're going to hear a lot of gum chewing by accident.
I don't know. That's quite coincidental because you talk about gum chewing, and I'm sitting here chewing the shit out of some gum right now.
Right? Hey, it's a coincidence.
Yeah, but yeah, go ahead.
And now this is the part of the podcast where I like to switch the roles. So okay. I want to go to you, B-Rob, like how I kind of did last episode that I was on here. So I want to kind of switch the roles this time. So how are things going with you, B-Rob?
Well, they're going. It's just been a lot of work going on. Not so much within the podcast or whatever. It's just life, Right. Striving to get in the house at the end of this month here. So I've just been working extra hours at work, and I hadn't really been able to get on social media and do
right.
some of the normal things that I would do because I'm at work all the goddamn time.
Right. Hey, that's been me, man. I mean, I want to say for this week only, I've done a total of, oh my goodness, like 40, 50 hours. It's been crazy.
Yeah. It's just like, I've been working the midnight shift, been working early morning shift, been working weekends, whatever shift that you can imagine, I've been working.
Yeah, every shift B-Rob has been doing it. I mean, hey, and we I respect that because like I know what it takes to have to hustle and work hard for something something that you love and have a passion for. I mean, I can compare that to my wrestling passion because no matter how many people, including remember that story about my best friend, telling me that wrestling was fake, you have to continue on with your passion, and you got to strive for your passion. You can never, to quote John Cena, and I'm sorry to all the John Cena marks that say that John Cena's message is all fake and shit, but honestly, you have to take that to heart. Yeah, you can't give up. You can never give up. Quote that to John Cena. So you just have to keep going with the grind, and eventually you'll get there. I mean, that was me with my, I'll give you just one quick story really quick. That was me with my weight loss because believe it or not, B-Rob, I was 300 pounds in 2015.
What?
Yeah. I mean, if you look at the origins of Sock Monkey Mike and you go through all my old pictures, yeah, you'll see that. So just to make a long story short, I have to give a quick shout out before I do that to DDP Yoga, because if it wasn't for them being one of my motivators for the weight loss, then like I said, I wouldn't be like I am today. So so I started with DDP Yoga. I'd say about like maybe December, maybe January 2016, and that was just a motivator for me because DDP was growing up, in the Attitude Era. Well, I'm sorry, the Ruthless Aggression Era, because, I'm a millennial, apparently. They don't like to call me a 90s kid because I was born in 1999. So, DDP was growing up, was a huge inspiration for me because I remember my dad watching WCW tapes and watching, Thunder and DDP not joining the NWO, and everybody would think that he would join the NWO, and obviously he didn't, and he just shocked the world when he was like making us think that he would turn to the bad side. Yeah. And then I started with that, and then also another motivator for me was unfortunately, and this is kind of a personal story, so I apologize to everybody that's kind of listening to this part, but I kind of just want to put it out there. Mm-hmm. Another personal motivator for me was my grandfather, who was, I don't know if you remember from the last conversation, B-Rob was the person that kind of influenced me to have this wrestling passion. Yeah. So when he died in 2015, that was kind of a motivator for me to keep what he had for a passion for wrestling and to never give up, to do it on me. And I had to realize, like, listen, this is real life now. I have to make a change. So then that was the nonstop grind of, okay, so then I started eating healthier. I started doing, DDP yoga. I started doing track, basketball, stuff that I could actually help me be healthier mentally and physically. And then afterwards, I've been thankful and blessed to be where I am today. And yeah, sorry to hit you with that long story.
Oh, no, you good. Because you talk about the weight loss and everything. Now, looking at some of your pictures and everything, I can kind of see what, you in the face is like, all right, you can tell there was more there. Now it's just kind of like leaned out and everything. So I wouldn't have thought of it. Yeah, like I said, it was just a long transition, but in the end, it's very worth it. So I love to shout out DDP Yoga. I don't know if you'll put them in the mentions as soon as this episode is published next week. Yeah, but yeah, we'll give him a self high five. But as far as the podcasts go and everything, is it exclusive to YouTube, or are you trying to get it shopped around? Yeah, so unfortunately, right now, TSC does not have the funds to go to like iTunes status. We try to do the Podbean app, but unfortunately, we had some technical issues. Mm-hmm. So right now, yes, in terms of, the YouTube, I believe, would be temporary until we find further funds to go beyond that. But as of right now, yes, it is exclusive to YouTube. For sure. So, is that one of the hurdles that you find yourselves running into early on starting your podcasting careers? Yeah. Unfortunately, with the podcast itself, we do find a lot of hurdles, like you mentioned. Like we said, just being exclusive only to YouTube, not being able to do constant week after week like a lot of podcasts do. Like, I'll give them a shout out here on this podcast, New Age Insiders, where I met, B-Rob, yourself, Nicole, everybody who does weekly podcasts. Yeah. And daily ones, because that's where I try to strive the podcast too, is being a weekly episodic podcast. But unfortunately, like I mentioned before, with scheduling and everything and everybody being all busy, we don't have the capability of doing a weekly podcast. But I can tell you that you will find the next episode for all the listeners out there, and for B-Rob, yourself. You can find the episode coming in within the next few weeks, because we do have a guest on there who's we talk very a lot about film.
Okay. So we're kind of basing that on the film perspective. And like how I mentioned earlier about how we talk about different topics every week, we're going to focus more on the film perspective, because we kind of wanted to base, each episode at a time, like one on film, one on wrestling, maybe another one on sports. We just like to keep the different topics flowing. So the second episode, and trust me, ladies and gentlemen, there will not be any gum chewing. I promise. I heard it. And there will not be any gum chewing. And we just like to, pick people's brains and like to, constantly get new topics each episode. So we're not kind of stuck to one topic, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I got you. I see, looking at your YouTube page and everything, it is the TSC network. Now,
yes, sir.
When you throw network out there, do you plan on implementing more shows into your network, or what's up with that? So
this is an idea that I kind of pitched to myself, and I kind of pitched it to Kevin as well, but we really haven't kind of got to the idea. So for TSC, we were looking at adding, like you mentioned, more shows. So we didn't want to just go to just one show. We wanted to do, because I have a friend out there, I'll shout him out as well. His name is Ant Prevails. If you looked him up on Twitter, that's the username, Ant Prevails, aka just Anthony, who's a good friend of mine from this app called YouNow. I don't know if you're familiar with B-Rob. YouNow. I don't know if you're familiar with the app.
No, I will right now look up YouNow.
Yeah, so he'll be a gentleman that I met through there, and he's been a really good friend. He has, like I said, the same kind of passion of wrestling that I do. But he likes to kind of mix it up as well with things that are going on now, with trending topics that are currently trending, stuff that's kind of going on now. So it's kind of like in a way, kind of like a news sort of, kind of like what's popular now kind of channel.
Current events.
Yeah. So the original plan was, or my pitch idea was, I was looking for, I was kind of, because he was kind of interested in the idea, but not really 100%. So what the idea was we were going to have separate shows. So he was going to have his own separate show talking kind of based on current events and maybe, adding in a little wrestling. I was kind of thinking of bringing in some new people as well, but like I mentioned before, we're still kind of
trying to figure
hurdling over the technicality issues and stuff like that. So we were trying to, and then we also try to bring in maybe more social media, kind of have like a social media team. But right now, like I said, we're still kind of climbing the ladder. So as of right now, we're not really looking to any other show or any other kind of new step in the network direction. But as of right now, that's what we're kind of aiming for, is to the network kind of step.
I got you. I often find myself pondering that as well, as like starting my own little umbrella of things and stuff. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
I think you could do it. I think, considering how much, listeners that you gain like every week, and like how many guests are on your show, I think, yeah, man, you have the capability of making a great network. For me, in my example, me having barely, 800 some followers, and if you haven't already, follow me on Twitter at SockMonkeyMike. Just want to put in that plug. Most likely right now, I'm just blessed to have as many viewers for the first episode, and for all the trailers and all the videos that are on the channel right now, and all the subscribers. I'm thankful for that now. And I will always be thankful. Don't get me wrong on that. I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm thankful now, and then like when I have, pray to God, 1,000 followers, it's like, I hate the day ones. You know what I mean? So I'm just thankful now, and I will forever be grateful for everybody that does tune in, that does view, that even if it's a hate comment, I'm still thankful, because you took the time to actually look at my video.
True.
You know what I mean? And actually look at the episode. So, that's just me, but you have, B-Rob, you have all the power in the world to do and take it to new heights. So do what your dream and what your gut tells you, and you will strive to great, higher heights.
Man, boy, you sound like you're in there doing a seminar and everything. I'm about to buy some stuff.
I'm almost losing my voice.
Oh man, I lost a little bit of my voice today because I was in Walmart which you can plug, check out on my Instagram account, Random Rambles with Rob. I was in Walmart earlier today, looking for the 4K copy of the movie It. It just came out today. So went to my local Walmart, and all they had was the Blu-ray copy and the DVD. And I was like, nope, I can't have none of this shit. So I went to another Walmart, and I was running around there looking for this damn movie, and all they had in the front part was the DVD copy. And I was like, son of a bitch, they ain't even got the Blu-ray here. So I went all
the only thing you need, and they don't have it.
Yeah. So I went all the way into the back of the electronics store, and god damn it, they had one 4K copy left, and I got that motherfucker.
Right? You just snatched it, and then you just said, yes, I finally got the precious gem.
Yeah, and that's what was crazy. I even said it on the Instagram video, which you can look up on Instagram at Random Ramblings W_Rob. Plug.
plug. Yeah, and don't forget Walmart log.
Exactly. Hashtag Walmart log. I like you because you're a plug master. I ain't talking about like
right.
I'm not talking about any innuendo stuff, but like you good at advertising.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I say that Drew Gulak is my favorite cruiserweight, is because he knows how to get people's attention, and he knows how to make people pop. He knows how to he knows how to make a crowd that is silent throughout the show. And then if you give him a mic, if you give him a sign that says no fly zone, and you give him the opportunity to say no chance, the crowd will chant and the crowd will pop. So that's why he's a huge inspiration. That's why I dedicated one of my profile pictures. As soon as I passed all my finals, I posted a profile picture after I legitimately gave a PowerPoint presentation, something that he is infamous for. And he commented, I don't know if, you saw it.
Yeah.
That he put, congratulations. I hope it was very informative and great. And he put like a thumbs up on it. And that just made me like the happiest guy in the world. Because as a huge fan of his work, not only from his WWE standpoint, but I was also a fan of him when he was in CZW, or for those who don't know, Combat Zone Wrestling, where he was doing the whole campaigning and the whole, for a safer combat zone. And that's just an inspiration for me. So in terms of advertising, that is who I kind of aim to be.
Yeah, that's what's up. Before we trail on out of here, I'm looking at your logo that you have for the show. Whatever. Who designed that?
I'm going to give one more shout out for the show, B-Rob, and that's going to be for my good friend who is a phenomenal artist. Like, I don't know if you saw I don't know if you're scrolling on my Twitter right now and you saw my profile picture, but the man who did that was a good friend of mine named, I'm hoping I pronounced his name right. I'm just going to spell it out because I don't want to get yelled at for pronouncing names wrong.
And I'm going to spell it out for you.
Wait, what?
And I'm going to spell it out for you.
Yeah. And it's not SAWFT either. It's NAHUEL, Nahul. I'm so going to get yelled at for that. But yeah, if you looked him up on Twitter at N_EDV on Twitter and on Instagram as well, he is a phenomenal artist who takes commissions for as low as $30. He, when I asked him, because I was reaching out to a lot of wrestling cartoonists, and I was like, man, I need a logo. So I need a logo that looks like a good professional logo. So I reached out to him later on, and I was like, hey, is there any way they could create this logo for me? And he's like, sure, man, I got you. And that was like, and then once he showed me that, I was like, man, that's like awesome, like phenomenal, to quote AJ Styles, because he did what the title entails, is that two sides of the coin. So you have the sock monkey, which is, obviously me, Sock Monkey Mike. Mm-hmm. And then you have Kev's character, which is kind of the, like the destroyer kind of, I want to say kind of like the, oh my goodness, what's his name? Not Scarface, not Two-Face.
Bane?
No, not Bane. Bane. There we go. I was thinking of Deadshot for a minute, but it's not Deadshot. So, so like the Bane kind of character, and you kind of combined it with, both of us, and you created a pretty sick logo. So, that's where I kind of got the logo from, and it was just so awesome when he did that for me, and that's what kind of became the logo. And once we released the announcement video, that was awesome too, because Kev combined that with the logo with the animations, and that just looked cool. I mean, it's probably not like WWE style animation, but it's pretty good. So if you guys have the chance, please check out the announcement video. Check out all the videos actually on TSC Network at TSC Network on YouTube. And one more thing before we go, B-Rob, I do want to kind of do a little promo here.
Okay.
I want to shout out someone that I hope gives me a title shot, because I don't know. I'll get you up to speed right now, B-Rob. There's a series on YouTube. I don't know if you're familiar with these names really quick. Are you familiar with a gentleman by the name of Muscle Man Malcolm?
I've heard the name.
Yeah. So right now he is the current WWE Shop Champion. Him and another gentleman by the name of Brandon Hodge have this series going on called the Shop Series. And if you guys haven't looked them out, I'll shout them out, even though I just said the last shout out of the night, but it's not happening. At the Brandon Hodge on Twitter and at the Muscle Man Mal on Twitter as well. Have this thing called the Shop Series. And it all started with Brandon, who created this title called the WWE Shop title, because he owns like the most shit on WWE Shop, which is kind of scary, but it's cool. And right now, Malcolm, he won the title last year, and now he's set to defend that title again this year on February 3rd. Make sure to check it out on Twitter, or not on Twitter, I'm sorry, on YouTube. And he said he's set to defend that title, and I put out a video on my channel at TSC Network, and to Malcolm, just in case if he does retain the title, to challenge him for a match.
Okay. Well, y'all gonna meet up at a WWE
so
and just get the wrestling?
Yeah, basically. So just this one time to Malcolm. I know you said you were going to respond to me next week, but next week is not soon enough. I want to make sure that WWE Shop Championship is represented, and it's represented right. I know that I could keep that title way longer than you, because there is no way you will beat Brandon Hodge on February 3rd. And if you happen to manage to beat Brandon Hodge on February 3rd, then guess what? You became the biggest idiot of your life. Because you're going to be facing me no matter what you say, no matter if you accept my challenge. Because on Survivor Series weekend, that's the challenge I'm going to be setting B-Rob. On Survivor Series weekend 2018, which is going to be in November, I am challenging you for that WWE Shop Championship. And no matter if you have your little Malktourage fan base that you have, no matter if it's Brandon's fan base, no matter if it's White's or anybody's, just know that I will be the challenger, and I will beat you for that title, and I will automatically give it to B-Rob. Just kidding. But just know that, and I will see you at Survivor Series weekend.
All right, man. Always a pleasure to pick your brain and chat with you and let you plug yourself and everything, which you can go ahead and continue to do right now. Go ahead and plug your show, your social media accounts, and then we can ride on out.
All right. Well, I just want to say thank you, B-Rob, for letting me be on the show. Like I said, it's been an honor to be back. Since the reaction video from Raw in September, like I said, my name is Sock Monkey Mike. I am a passionate wrestling fan that goes all the way back to, my grandfather, which I'm proud to say. Follow me on Twitter if you haven't already, at Sock Monkey Mike. Follow the podcast on Twitter as well if you haven't already, at Sides Coin. Make sure to tune in, because we're going to be looking for a brighter future for the podcast. So be tuning into that YouTube channel at TSCT, the letter T, S, the letter S, and the C, the letter C, Network on YouTube. And make sure, I'm just going to plug this in. Follow my boy B-Rob, because he's producing this show. And this show, like I said, is the greatest, okay? This is the greatest show that I've ever been on. So make sure to follow this show, on Twitter at 3R Show. Make sure that you follow B-Rob at It's B-Rob. And make sure finally, and I'm just going to end this with a bang, make sure to tune in every week and make sure that you and everybody else that's listening to this stay classy.
All right, man.
To quote the weatherman.
I was about to, after you said that, I had that brief pause. I was about to say, fuck you, San Diego.
Do it. You have it right now.
Too late. I already did it. I just did it.
Oh, okay.
All right, man. Once again, thank you. Appreciate you for giving me your time and everything. And man, like I tell you and many other guests, doors are always open for you to come back, because this is more your show than it is mine. I mean, you may have two sides of the coin or whatever, but this is your first podcast.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. I got you down, and I'll see you next time, dude.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. And thanks for everything.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. Have a good night, bud.
All right, you too. And that's it, folks. Another episode in the bag. Once again, big shout out to Brandon McIntyre, supporter of the Random Rounds with Rob, for giving me his time and joining me on this episode. Also, big shout outs to Sock Monkey Mike, and wish him the best of luck in all his future endeavors. I'm not trying to get him WWE fired or anything. That's just a polite thing to say. With his new podcast, him and his co-host, and he doing big things. He up in college now and whatnot. And as I record this on a Saturday, tomorrow Sunday, January 21st, I'll have a 17-year-old in my house, getting on my damn nerves, still eating up my food and all kind of shit like that. So it'll be my kid's birthday, 17 years old. 17 years ago, I was in Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, bugging the fuck out because she wasn't supposed to be born till February. And I put in for leave so I can be home in time for the birth. And she came early, and I missed all that stuff. So it is what it is. Life is moving fast and swiftly and whatnot. But make sure you follow Brandon McIntyre and Sock Money Mike. See, I said it. That's why I got to say it slow. Sock Monkey Mike. I told him that. Every time I try to say it fast, I say sock money, because I put money in my socks. I lied. Don't rob me. I don't have no money in my socks. But yeah. Thanks to Hoppy for his voicemail that you heard at the top of the show. Thanks to Jarrett for sending me voicemails and everything like that. Thank you to everybody that's listening. I'm still trying to get Iowa, Idaho, Vermont, and Alaska on the gravy train, but we'll get there eventually. And join in next week, as I'll have the Wrestle Nerds on the show, Goobs and Ripken. They also have a YouTube series. WNW is all wrestling based from the WWE 2K18 video game. They do commentary. They have unique characters and storylines and everything. So check that out on the YouTubes. So without further ado, let's wish you a further ado. Anyway, all right, get the fuck out of here. You can follow me on Twitter at It's B-Rob. That's ITSBROB. If you want to talk professional wrestling and any other general shenanigans, that's the place you do it. Also, the show has its own Twitter account. You can follow me at 3R Show. You can go to randomrobcast.com and you can find different ways to help support the show, help it grow. Just like Brandon McIntyre, who you heard today, and Glenn Abbott. You can buy merchandise, use Amazon links, get a 30-day free trial of Amazon Prime, donate monies through PayPal or become a patron through Podbean. Also, there is Amazon wish list. You can donate equipment to the show so I can do fantastical, fun videos for you inside Walmart, and maybe even grab people to do some interviews and everything. You can follow me on Instagram, where you can watch me walk through Walmart and do things and stuff on camera just for you. But most importantly, people, you don't have to do any of those things to where you have to forfeit any cash out of your pocket to give to this show. No. The most important thing you can do, the most important thing that you can do for the show that is free is like, subscribe, retweet, tell a friend, listen to the show, and maybe even leave a review, 5-star review if you're feeling frisky. It goes a long way. I really appreciate you if you could do that thing for me. Also, get to those motherfuckers in Idaho, Iowa, Vermont, and Alaska. Tell them to listen to the show, or visit those places and just download and listen to the show so you can help me out. All right. Enough running my mouth. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time.
Your face is coming straight to your ears. A podcast network that's changing gears, bringing fresh funky pods with a fresh funky beat. A family of pods that are bringing the heat. There ain't no stopping us. Keep coming back to us, sick ass pods that'll make you hush. www hush your face. www hush your face. www hushyourface.com.